Okay, the last page in your packet, we're going to talk about a geometric sequence and series. And when you were in Algebra 1, we would give you something like this, and we would ask you, what's the next, is it an arithmetic sequence, and what are the next three values in the sequence? And so you looked at this, and what pattern do you see?
Adding 3.
Okay, you're adding 3 each time. Since you go through it, you see, well, each time I get to the next new number, I'm adding 3, so the next digits would be 17, 20, 23 if I asked for the next 3 terms, right?
Yeah.
That was called an arithmetic sequence. Okay, that's when you're either adding or subtracting the same value to get to the next number in the sequence. Okay, now we're going to look at what a geometric sequence is. And it says it's a sequence with a constant ratio between the terms. So now when you look at the terms, what do you see happening each time to get to the next term? Now we're multiplying, right? You see that we're multiplying by 3. That's what makes it a geometric sequence. So to get the next term in this, I'd have to take 324 and I'd have to take it times 3. I'd get 972. If I want the next term in the sequence, somebody help me out with this one. I would have to take 972 times 3.
2,916.
How many?
2,916.
Okay. And we'd keep going if we needed more numbers in the sequence. If it's hard for you to tell what's happening, okay, it's a ratio, so all you would need to do is to take a number in the sequence, any number, let's just take 108, and you want to create a ratio by the number directly in front of it. So if I took 108 over 36, if I did that division on my calculator, I'd get 3. If I took 36 and I divided it or created a ratio, a fraction, over the number directly in front of it, 36 divided by 12, you're going to get 3. So if you ever get a ratio that's a fraction or a decimal that's hard maybe to come up with, you can always find the ratio by picking any number in the sequence and dividing it by the one in front of it. Okay, so letter A, it says find the common ratio and the next 3 terms in each geometric sequence.
It's times 2.
Okay, it's times 2. Alex says, so what are the next 3 terms?
32, 64, 128.
32, 64, 128. Okay, how about B?
Divided by 2.
Now you're seeing division by 2 or the common ratio. We wouldn't say it's being divided by 2. If I were to take any of these digits, let's say 25, and put the number right in front of it, below it, create a ratio there, what's that reduced down to?
1/2.
1/2. So the common ratio would be listed as 1/2. And what's half of 12.5?
6.25.
6.25. Half of 6.25?
1.5625.
What is it?
1.5.
You divided that by 2?
No. 3.
Oh, but the next one?
Yeah.
Is what?
1.5625.
Okay. So we'd have to keep using decimals there.
So is the answer?
So the common ratio, which was probably an R, the common ratio would be 1/2. And then these would be the next 3 values in the sequence.
Okay.
The common ratio over here would be a 2, sorry. And the next 3 values in the sequence would be 32, 64, and 128. Okay? Notice in letter C, we've got some positive and some negative numbers. And that can happen in a geometric sequence. How am I going from 2 to a negative 10?
Times -5.
Timesing it by a negative 5. Now, what happens when I multiply a negative times a negative?
It becomes positive.
That's why the 50 is positive. So the common ratio is the negative 5. And if I take negative 250 times the negative 5,
1,250.
okay, that's positive. Then I would have to take it times a negative 5 again,
Negative 600, 250.
6,000.
6,000.
250, okay? And when I take it times a negative again, my last value is going to be positive.
31,250.
Okay, how about this one?
It's times 3 each time.
Okay, Alex says it's times 3. If you don't recognize that, again, pick any number in the sequence, 2.4, and divide it by the 1 directly in front of it. You move the decimal, it's like 24 divided by 8, so that is 3. Okay, so Alex, what are the next 3 values in the sequence?
64.8,
64.8,
194.4, and 583.2.
0.2?
Yeah.
Okay. So geometric sequence, not too bad.
Is this a textbook?
On page 346 in the textbook, you're going to do questions 5 through 10.